Alright guys, so I have insecurities about the way I look. And here's 5 things I learned this week that helped me kind of learn a new perspective around it. Okay, so we're starting to open comedy back up, and this week I went to Reno of all places. And I really wanted a good experience in Reno because the last 2 times I went there, it was pretty bad. So the last time I ended up there with this guy I was dating who turned out to be kind of like a narcissist, and it did not go well. And the time before that, I went there and I was so lonely, I hopped on Grindr and I almost ended up hooking up with a homeless guy. Not that there's anything wrong with being homeless, but let's just say, you know, he was so obviously homeless that when I met him at the lobby of the hotel that I was staying at, the security guard went to him and said, "You, get out of here!" To which I responded, "No, he's with me!" and embarrassed myself. So anyway, so this time I wanted to go there and I wanted to experience Reno in a good, positive way. Anywho, this time I visited Reno and I noticed a new breed of comedians there, okay? Energetic, they're empathic, they're caring, they're supportive of one another. I mean, I've been visiting Reno to do comedy since 2012, and back in 2012 it was literally me and 14 straight white guys, but this time it was women and people of color and white guys too, of course, but the energy this time was like one of love and care, and I loved it. I made a lot of good friends this time. And one particular comedian that actually stood out to me is named Noelle, and she is a self-professed big girl, and she has this energy that she approaches the stage with. It's really magnetic, and her confidence is really undeniable. And she had only been doing comedy for 2 years, but I really loved the spark in her. I just saw something that was so magical. So I actually went out with her and her boyfriend, Jesus, his name's Jesus, to dinner, and we started talking about why she's so, I asked her, like, "You're so confident, what makes you so confident?" And she said she knows that beauty is subjective and that she just knows she's beautiful. And I have to say, at that moment, I became somewhat envious because I wanted to feel confident about myself, but I would be lying if I said I was. Here's the thing, I'm not a bad looking guy, and I mean, for crying out loud, I've done modeling gigs, for Walmart, but still, it counts. But like, you know, conventionally, I would be considered maybe a good looking guy, but I noticed I don't feel that way. After talking to her and doing a deep dive on my long drive home in Reno, here are some things that I learned about that. Number 5. You know, the acting industry can really affect your self-esteem negatively. You know, TV and film are visual mediums, so naturally you can get or not get jobs because you look the part or not. And literally, you lose parts because your nose is too big, or you have wide set eyes, which I think I have really wide set eyes. My friend Jackie thinks I'm an alien. Literally, I've been on calls for nerdy looking someone no one would notice blends into the background, and then I would have to go to an audition for a sexy guy, our hero who just bought a Chevrolet, like on the same day. So I would dress up in an old t-shirt for one audition and then change into upscale casual J. Crew for the next one, and it messes with you. Like, where's your identity? I'm like, oh my God, one time they sent me out for an audition for a scarily skinny man. And I called my agent and I was like, I'm not scary skinny. I went to the audition and guess what? I booked the job. How? I have no idea. But does this mean that I am scary skinny? There's no way I am scary skinny. And then I show up on set and they wrap me in gauze because it was for like a horror movie project. So I wasn't even seen. They hired me as the skinny guy to then wrap me in gauze, and I'm not even skinny. So what am I supposed to make from that? I mean, seriously, show business messes with you. But you know what? This is why you have to have a strong center and belief in yourself, like my friend Noelle, okay? Now, number 4 is not everyone's idea of beauty is the same. I run into this a lot. I run into dating situations. I run into lots of men who are not into guys with no hair on their body. I have no hair on my body, guys. I run into people who don't like Asian guys. I run into people who don't prefer men. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. But again, it comes back to, you can't lean on other people's opinion to feel beautiful or validated. If you're on Grindr and someone likes, I don't know, little people with triple Fs, there's no way I'm gonna win. No matter how conventionally beautiful I may be, it just doesn't work that way. So you cannot lean on other people for your idea of feeling beautiful. Number 3 is, it's not so much the beauty as it is the confidence. When I think about this, I think of Prince. Prince to me was not conventionally beautiful. He was like 5'5" and really skinny. I think he's strange looking, but I can see the appeal. But again, he shouldn't, but he knew he was one of the sexiest people alive because he owned it. He exuded confidence with what he had. And was he for everyone? No. But his confidence in what he had made him a magnet for those who were truly attracted to him. And I think it's so beautiful. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I want to be like that. I think my friend Noelle approached it the same way. I watched her, and as I started hanging out with her, like, she became more and more beautiful to me as I spent more time with her. And I think she decided to be confident in who she was. She had made a decision that she was beautiful. And that confidence is just magic, magnet. And it made me feel like, hey, I want to be like that. Number 2, I need to develop my own opinion of me in examining myself. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I'm for everyone, but I'm a unique type, and I'm stepping into who I am and loving myself. And I think, just like Prince, I can learn to not resist who I am. I can learn to accept myself for who I am. And that's the number 1 thing. It starts with the decision to no longer resist yourself. In many ways, we're taught in this world to resist who we are. I look in the mirror and sometimes I feel too tall. Sometimes I feel too fat. I feel too Asian. I have wide set eyes that are too, I'm too flamboyant or too ugly, or I have too many wrinkles. I have to get Botox. I do love Botox. But anyway, etc., etc. And what would it be like to accept myself as just who I am today? What would that feel like? Okay, so I have a high hairline. It's attractive. It's fine. I'm 6'1", great. Can I not resist that? Can I come to love myself for who I am and not resist myself? I think it actually started in childhood. When I was growing up, I hated that I was a man, honestly. My mom and my grandmother had been so incredibly abused by the men around them, and they're the one who raised me. And they were very, very, very angry at men. They would sit around and openly say things like, men are scum, men are terrible. And it's understandable, since grandpa beat my grandma regularly, and my dad had this whole other family on the other side of the country that he kept from my mom. But it made me feel like I was an enemy. And so I tried to disidentify from my maleness by being gay. I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, actually, I think there's no way I'm not gay. I haven't even seen a vagina. My mother had a cesarean. I've really never seen a vagina. But anyway, I think there is a deeply held belief that I am to be feared and that there's something wrong with me as a man. And the reality is, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm a man. I'm a big man. I'm tall. I'm big. I'm a strong man. I'm a beautiful man. And so I choose to not look at myself as defective any longer. I want to step into who I am and stand proudly. And never mind what show business thinks, the men I date think, or Instagram, or my mom, or magazines, or whatever. I want to step into me. And I think that is something that is really great that I learned this week. How to love myself. Stepping into who I am and not relying on other people for my good opinion of myself. All right, guys. So as usual, like, subscribe, follow. Thank you. Have a good day.